Relic Castle? The Relic Castle, you say? They'll get buried in sand. You already know this, right? If you run into pits in the sand, you'll fall through them. Okay, I don't like getting sand in my shoes. Hey everybody, it's Chugga Conroy. Welcome back to more Pokemon Black 2 and White 2. Last time, we defeated Clay in our 5th gym battle. Ah, come on, let's go see her. What is it with me getting the controls wrong and pressing down at inopportune times lately? No, let's go take a look at our badge case because I didn't before. Yeah, looks good. More than halfway completed, you know? It just feels so much better than it does before that point. Feels a lot bigger than just 1 more than 4. This time, we find ourselves in a place full of mystical energy, as we've heard. And yeah, we're going to go deeper into it, see what we can find in the deepest depths of Relic Castle. In here, there are 2 brand new Pokemon, starting with Sand/Slash Hitmonlee Psyduck Arcanine Eevee Exeggutor Kaboot Top Zapdos. I gotta stop before, otherwise I'll be here all day. Ground's a good type, Sand Rush is good if the team can support that ability. Unfortunately, without its ability, it's pretty slow and struggles against special users. We've got Dig for a main move on it already that's good. What's a shame is that the TM for Earthquake and Rock Slide are both tucked away in post-game, so it has to wait to learn Earthquake by level up and has to rely on Rock Tomb otherwise. It majorly got the shaft with the move tutors too. Just learning junk from them with the only decent move being Super Fang. But even then, it's kind of slow and unreliable to be counting on 2 hit strats. It's just a bit weak compared to other ground types. Can rarely hold the Quick Claw though. Rock! 2 strong abilities, both of which would be a main grace. Intimidate is rare in Unova and one of the best abilities of all time. Moxie is similarly uncommon while being more exciting at times. It hits hard, moves fast, has good type coverage, and 2 good stabs. The main strategy here is to have it switch in against its many resistances and immunities, score an easy win, and start charging up that attack with Moxie. It won't have any trouble keeping up at its current evolutionary level, and it evolves just as it would start falling behind. I feel like I'm just repeating myself with Sandile. You did good, you got the scholarship, buddy. It's a nice, easy addition to basically any team. You probably have a hole against at least one of the types it deals with. This here is a pretty perplexing room. This place is at the heart of all of that mystical energy, and I believe it. There are some select areas that are internally tagged as indoors, but are not given the classification of cave. This is significant because Dusk Balls don't have their improved catch rate in this room, even though they do in the rest of the ruins and the rest of the cave network. So be aware of that as we step forward. We ran into a wild Pokemon right as soon as we did. Volcarona! This Pokemon. Oh boy! This Pokemon sucks out loud! I'm serious. It seems like a nice Pokemon, and I'm sure you're familiar with how strong it is competitively. But it's all a trap because it's level 35, and it has no moves to use its extreme potential with. Its starting fire move is Fire Spin. Spin! And there's just nothing until around the 7 badge mark when it can finally get Fire Blast. Its level up moves are spread out every 10 levels. The moves it's famous for are inadvisable because of this. Quiver Dance is one of the best buffing moves. It's Volcarona's bread and butter, and it's at level 59! It didn't even do well with the move tutors. Heat Wave's not accessible for ages, and the best bug move it gets into level 70 is Signal Beam from the Driftville tutor. And do you really want to use your limited red scales on Signal Beam? Only a moron would do that. It'll likely just rely on possibly Signal Beam and likely just Giga Drain for the whole road. Weirdly, so much of what it learns during the journey is physical, and it shouldn't even try. But not all is lost. I'm here to tell you about a little mechanic where you can beat boss wild Pokemon, come back later, and they will be higher leveled. You're using Fire Spin on me, really? In this case, we can level up this wild Volcarona to level 70, so it actually has a decent selection of moves without having to raise it 40 levels by ourselves. This is probably the strongest case of recommending that you do this. Gee, it's almost like its move pool was designed as though it would join you in some sort of post-game, and this level 30 idea needed some tweaking in order to make sense. If you still just want it, at least computer players never use Stealth Rock, and it always holds a Silver Powder too when it's caught. Flame Body can be sometimes okay too, making up for its low defense. Pignati got to level 32, and Harmony got to level 30. Volcarona quietly flew away. It'll be back. Volcarona is based on Mothra, and there's a deeper connection there. Toho is the distributor of the Pokemon movies, and they were also the ones that did the Godzilla films, which is why many of their sound effects appear in early Pokemon films. It's kind of cool, huh? Never expect those little connections, though. I guess just because I didn't really grow up in Japan, I don't really think about those things. I just kind of think of them as sound effects, though, but no, it really is a connection there. Inside of Volcarona's room, there is one wild Pokemon, and it always has a 100% encounter rate, making it really easy to see. Baltoy came to play when he heard all the other bulky psychic types were around here, sporting good defenses and immunity to ground and electric. Comes knowing Psybeam and gets psychic soon enough. Its stats suck pretty bad until it evolves, but I guess it's not Tynamo levels of bad stats and moves, so it'll win some fights before then, I'm sure. On the note of its evolution, it is perfectly balanced out as a mixed attacker, which would open the door for Earthquake if it learned it in a reasonable amount of time, but it doesn't. Baltoy ends up attacking with Special more often than not. With it being such an all-arounder, it could be a good idea to toss a status move on it. If it doesn't have much to contribute in the current fight, it can just use those moves to raise up everyone else. If you've never tried a team member dedicated to indirect means of aiding the larger group, this would be a pretty good way to learn it. Didn't think the Swoobat would finish off Pignati with such ease, yikes. Well, McFly can have a nice easy win here. Just punch that bat. Makes me think of Donkey Kong using a boxing glove instead of a bat in the baseball games. We won another fight. We still got a bit of cave ahead of us, and I think in that time, I want to have a heart-to-heart talk about the process that goes into these videos, because it's just something I want to talk about. I usually don't like putting time limits on things. Stuff just kind of takes however long it takes. That's always just kind of how I've been. But there was a longer than normal wait for Black 2 and White 2 versus other Pokemon series, and I've alluded to this in the past. The reason for that was because there was just a lot of logistical issues with doing Black 2 and White 2 in particular, with going into every Pokemon and trying to research all of those Pokemon as individual topics. This is by far the largest undertaking for any Pokemon series. There's a lot more Pokemon that needed artwork drawn. There was the fact that every regional Pokedex up to this point, you have Gen 1 just being 150, and with it being Fire Red and Leaf Green, you have a few other Pokemon added into the mix from Johto. If we're talking Gen 2, yeah, there's 251 in the regional decks, but so much of them are unobtainable, so it really only comes out to being around 200. You have Emerald being around 200, you have Platinum being around 200, you have Black and White, you know, being 150 in its main story, and then maybe adding like 50 Pokemon from other games, so it's also about 200. This one, in its main story alone, has 300 Pokemon. And the main story regional dex is not even remotely all of the Pokemon obtainable. This is a big game. And we needed to figure out something for all this, so I enlisted the help of Stochastic, who you might know from Stephen George's videos, and he made software that automated the creation of the Pokemon bios. So I wouldn't have to worry about the visuals or there being as many mistakes in them. It's a really neat idea. He brought it to life in a fantastic way, making it just so much more streamlined, and we just needed more time to kind of develop these ideas, figure out how stuff was gonna be done going forward, because every other Pokemon game from here on out that I haven't done also has massive regional Pokedexes and so much more stuff that would need to be researched over other ones. So this way, I can spend time just deciding what I want to talk about, trying to make every video interesting as best I can, and, you know, just being focused on that rather than, where is this? Is it in the, no, it can't be in the wall because it's pointing, whatever, I'll deal with it later. We'll go through this right over here. But what I'm saying is, I don't expect that it'll be a 4-year wait for another one of these. Doing this has made me realize how much I missed doing Pokemon videos. And don't get me wrong, I love doing Mystery Dungeon, and that was kind of done intentionally in the halfway point between Black and White 1 and Black and White 2. I wanted to do a Mystery Dungeon Let's Play since the first year of my channel, and I think I'm very lucky that even this many years later, there's things I've wanted to do from the very beginning that are still getting to happen. It's good to be inspired this many years later. I consider myself very fortunate for that reason. Ah, hey, here it is! Got a rock gem. got a rare candy, and got a Rocky helmet? We gotta change some stuff around right freaking now. That's way too good. Pignotti's not going to be a teenager forever. He's been holding the Eviolite for a while, and that's been working out well, but I think I'm gonna swap the two items, as Rocky Helmet is just way too good of an item to not have on somebody, especially a tank. Some people give it to attackers, and it's good there. And I'm gonna give the Eviolite to McFly to make up for its lower stats, because McFly is just not going to evolve for a long-ass time. It's gonna be an Electabuzz forever and ever, and that's the kind of Pokemon that you give an Eviolite to in order to make it more viable. I can't wait to be out of repels just so I don't have to worry about that. Oh, hey, no. Back down by the boulder, for better alliteration, there's some ledges we can drop down at. I've already battled you. Ooh. If we go over this way, there's items. Man, there's items here I didn't get? Really? Oh, I guess we didn't have the dowsing machine the first time that we ran here through, so it's understandable. Get the escape rope. And did that despawn that? I think it did despawn it. Damn it. Oh, no, there it is, there it is, there it is. I'll take that. Come on, Shard. No! By exiting, back in Castelia sewers. This place goes under the bay, connecting all the way from Driftville City. There's nothing new for us right here, so instead, we're gonna go to our free space. Gonna take my rather interesting amount of rope, and we're just gonna go out. Yeah, it remembers where you entered the whole network of caves from and treats it all as one dungeon. How thoughtful of it. I desperately need to heal. Back to Put, we're gonna go shopping. Everyone calls me the reminder girl. I know every move that Pokemon learn while they're leveling up, and I can make a Pokemon remember those moves. If you bring me a heart scale, I'll make a Pokemon remember a move. This is the answer to all of our prayers. Every time a Pokemon evolves, bring them here, because they might have an earlier level move that you just missed out on, or some Pokemon have level 1 moves only when they're fully evolved that can only be gotten through heart scales. I don't know if I want Water Pulse despite all of my bitching and grumbling just because of what's coming up, so I think I'm gonna give you Aurora Beam instead. And I'll get rid of Return for that. If you think I regret not keeping both Flame Charge and Heat Crash, you may be right. I don't regret it yet, but I'll keep it in mind that we can always reach Flame Charge if we need to. Harmony had Hypnosis. That's an attractive choice. I'm not a big fan of Tailwind outside of double battles because it only stays in effect for 4 turns instead of 5. It's not terribly helpful, plus the next turn is when you get the benefit from it and not on the turn that it was used because of how speed calculations work. I'll get rid of Tailwind for right now in exchange for that. Didn't see anything else worth mentioning. When a Pokemon learns the move Hidden Power, somehow I can tell what type that move will be. Should I tell you what type of Hidden Power your Pokemon will learn? For a special attacker, this could be good to know, especially if they got a shallow move pool like Aiden does. Its type would be Bug. Ouchies! That's what we call an oof in the business. McFly? Water. I don't think I want that. I think I got ways of dealing with fire and rock just fine without that. But what about Harmony? Harmony would get fighting. Huh. Interesting. When battling in front of people, it's well known that you should stand your ground and not dance around. Oh, he already talked to you. Never mind, never mind, never mind, never mind, never mind. Still impressed by you. Who was I again? Oh, that's right, I'm the move deleter. You want to force your Pokemon to forget some moves? You cannot normally unlearn HM moves because you could end up getting stuck on an island somewhere. Oh, hey guys, I've just been checking out a cave for the last 2 days, you know, as you do. Here we are. What do you think? Great building, huh? I don't know, the cave had a Volcarona. Here's where the Pokemon World Tournament takes place. Ain't you pretty? Follow me, Tads. Whoa. This time I'm gonna have you participate in the Driftville tournament. Anything goes in this here tournament. 8 people will be participating, and if you win 3 times, you're a champion. Why did you call me too? I'm busy looking into something. You know something, Sharon? The one who's got to show everyone what Pokemon battling means is you. And your pal ain't here either. I'm counting on the power of youth, because everyone likes up-and-coming stars. Okay, whenever you're ready, get on over to reception. Man, oh man, you never change, Clay. But the tournament itself does look pretty fun. Okay, I'll go register. Me too. Come on, let's have some fun. We'll battle, plain and simple. Off they go. Whenever you're ready, get it over to the reception. These things look so cool. This looks like a guy throwing a javelin, and this looks like a guy holding a shield. I guess that would make sense with this being a place where Pokemon battling another. Hello, the trainer. Let me fill in about battle points. Battle points, also known as BP, are points you get for winning streaks in either Nimbasa City's Battle Subway or this tournament. Multiple ways of getting BP. The shops are completely identical to what they are in the Battle Subway. It's just here for added convenience. I got 9 BP because I've been doing little challenges on the multi-train off screen, as they are easy enough and you can rack up some nice wins. I gotta know, are these the vending machines of legend? Not you. This is like trying to pull the sword from the stone in King Arthur's court or something, except it's trying to pull the extra soda can from the vending machine. No. I'm not the chosen one. Someday I'll be famous, but for now I'm just a spectator here. So what we're gonna do, welcome to the Pokemon World Tournament. Will you participate? Which tournament will you participate in? Only one. Please choose the Pokemon that will participate. We can enter 3 Pokemon. Harmony seems like a pretty good choice. Maybe Jade for some added hype, and maybe McFly. Yeah, I feel like you 3 have kind of gotten the least amount of development out of everyone, so let's try you out. Done, your registration is complete. Right this way, please. The Driftville Tournament Single Battle. These are the Pokemon trainers who entered this tournament. The Driftville Tournament starts now. First timer Blaze enters. Typhoon's pushing his limits in order to find his important Pokemon. The first round, Typhoon versus Blaze. Clay sure likes things loud and flashy, doesn't he? Well, whatever. It's time to go all out. No, you have that completely wrong. It's time to lose. And I'm not saying that to you, I'm saying that to me. I am going to throw this battle. I came in here, came all this way, registered my Pokemon to lose. And believe me, it's hard to lose these fights. His levels are a freaking joke. I'm playing the long game. This is the optimal strat. On a personal playthrough, I wanted to see what happened if you lost these battles, and believe me, it was hard to lose this. I was here for like 20 minutes waiting to lose. I could try as hard as possible to fail, but that's taking an awful while. What you could do instead is run from this trainer battle. Because it's a battle facility, that's allowed. The winner of the first round is Typhoon! Come on, man. If you're gonna help me want to take on Team Plasma, so you gotta get it together. I walk off and do the walk of shame, just looking down at my feet. You lost in the first round. Keep trying. Better luck next time. Thank you for your participation. Please accept this consolation prize. A yellow shard. If you lose, you get a random shard for participating. Believe it or not, and it's so stupid that this is even the case, but this is really the optimal way to grind up shards. I always wondered what happened if you lost this, and I finally tried it out when I was doing research for this, and it's so funny. They make you go back and win, so it's infinitely renewable. Do it if you need shards. It's amazingly fast to hunting dust clouds for like 20 minutes to maybe, just maybe, get 1 shard. There's so many other things that can happen in dust clouds, like wild encounters, evolutionary stones, gems, that getting exactly what you want out of them is miserable. This, on the other hand, you just watch like a 5-second cutscene, you set your text speed to fast, you mash on through it, you hear the sound that sounds like they hooked somebody's Adam's apple up to a synthesizer while they gargled with Listerine, and then, yeah. You just hit the run button every time, get another shard guaranteed. Also, being straight with you, Considering that some pretty good moves only cost 2 or 4 shards, this consolation prize is better than what you get for winning the tournament. It's so silly. I've never seen someone so determined to grow stronger, so upset that they lost. And now we walk off and get another shard. Can't guarantee what color it's gonna be, but some move tutor's eventually gonna want that color, and this is basically 1 shard per minute. Blue shard for that one. And the best part is, we can run out of here like cowards and see what other items there were around the place. My husband can teach some Pokemon the ultimate moves. I'll tell you their names. The Blazing Fire Pokemon, Charizard, Typhlosion, Blaziken, Infernape, and Emboar. The Restless Water-type Pokemon, Blastoise, Feraligatr, Swampert, Empoleon, and Samurott. The Quiet Grass-type Pokemon, Venusaur, Meganium, Sceptile, Torterra, and Serperior. These moves are Frenzy Plant, Blast Burn, and Hydro Cannon. The ultimate moves only teachable to starter Pokemon. Go talk to my wife, Keh! Our starter Pokemon is not fully evolved, so we can't get it. These are typed versions of Hyper Beam, 150 power, but they spend a turn recharging. I'm not interested in learning these moves. They're not terribly useful. Maybe if you're playing on shift battles, they could be good. Water Pledge, Fire Pledge, and Grass Pledge. A combination of these 3 moves are used in battle. Special things happen. Yes. Hey, Professor gave you a Pokemon to start your journey, right? If that Pokemon is still with you, and if the 2 of you have a strong bond, there's a special move it can learn. These moves are not terribly great. They're similarly only learnable by starter Pokemon. The pledges are... Okay, there it is. These moves only have 50 base power, making them just simply not worth using outside of double or triple battles. And even then, when are you playing through any Pokemon adventure with 2 or more starter Pokemon? I did it once in Ruby as a kid and it was fun and all, but it's not something I do all the time. They had their power increased to 80 1 game later after this, but sadly, we just ain't there yet. Fire Pledge and Grass Pledge used in the same turn will increase the power to 150 and make it so that all non-fire type Pokemon will receive 1/8 of their max HP and damage at the end of the turn. If Water Pledge and Fire Pledge are used on the same turn, the power goes up to 150 and it creates a rainbow on the user's side for 4 turns. The rainbow doubles the probability of secondary effects happening, effectively giving you a Serene Grace. It's even cumulative a Serene Grace. The only chance not affected is flinching. I guess that would just be a little bit too good. And similarly, if secondary effects are buffed enough times in combination with this, it can lead to an overflow glitch, causing you to have less chance of getting your secondary effects. You've been warned. And if Grass and Water Pledge are used in succession, it gets 150 power and a swamp is created, which cuts the speed of all Pokemon on the enemy side of the field to 1/4 of what it normally is. These effects are more interesting than they are actually good. I'm sure it's satisfying if you actually pull it off in a real competitive battle or something like that, but I'm not really here to do that. I'm sorry, it's just not that good. Vending machines. Oh my God, they put something in a trash. Who threw this away? Who threw this? Was it you? What kind of trainer will come? What kind of battle will it be? He's just inane stammering to himself, so I'm just gonna turn to the side over here and just like slowly and nonchalantly pour this into into Aiden's mouth. Okay. And then we got this protein. That could go probably Pignati again. Yeah, we'll do that. I should probably give that to a Trapinch. That would have been good. I just gotta know. I really just gotta know. Soda Pop. Nope. No. My heart just wasn't good enough. It's like when you count on the heart of the cards to win games for you in Yu-Gi-Oh! As a kid, it never comes through. You might be disappointed that we didn't do any actual real fighting at the put, but come on! I've given you the ultimate tool. What could be better than infinite farmable shards that fast? Come on, that's better than any Pokemon battle. The knowledge is yours. Until the next video, sit around, grind it up. You'll thank me later. Next time on Pokemon Black 2 and White 2, we challenge the Pokemon World Tournament for real. See you guys then!